You're overqualified and we can't hire you. Have you heard that before? What does that even mean? So there's a lot of dangers that come with being overqualified. First way to look at it is, would you hire, if you were a hiring manager, would you hire somebody with a PhD to be a cashier at Walmart? The chances are you wouldn't, because they're probably not going to stay there for long. Somebody who has a PhD probably wants to be instructing or teaching at a university. They do not want to be checking out people with their loaf of bread and their turkey legs and random stuff like that. So you have the flight risk. You want to hire somebody, but then in the back of your mind, you're wondering, how long is this person going to stick around before a better opportunity comes up? And another reason why it's a big deal is that there's cost associated with training. So the average cost to train an employee in the United States is about $1,200. So you have to consider not only the cost, the $1,200 it costs to train somebody up, but the time. Because someone's going to have to take time out of their day in order to focus on that new employee to help bring them up to speed with how things are ran in the company. A lot of people, they're just looking for a job until the real opportunity surfaces, until the job they really want comes open, and then they can jump at it because they just need money. They need money right now. And another reason is, if the job posting doesn't have the salary listed, a lot of times the human resource specialist could be thinking, I'm not going to be able to afford that guy. He's got 15 years experience. He's got a master's degree. Maybe he has an MBA. There's no way we can afford this person because the range of salary for this position may be $30,000 to $60,000. And they just know that that person's not going to accept it. So why even bother interviewing them? But many times it comes back to, if the person's about to leave, then why would you hire them? But there is something that you can do, and it's pretty simple. You can take your resume and remove some of the education and some of the experience that intimidates the human resource specialist. You can get rid of that, dumb down your resume a little bit in order to get a lower level job. Or what you can do is during the interview, you can explain exactly why you're applying for this position. Maybe you're passionate about the company's mission or vision, like, hey, I really want to work for Dunkin' Donuts because I'm passionate about it, or whatever the case may be. So convey that. If you get the interview, you have an opportunity to convey why you're applying for the job. Now, before you do this, you have to understand that it's a danger to you as well as the worker, as the employee, because you're going to be bored more often than not. It could be unchallenging work. It could be a dead-end job where there's no room to advance. You're going to get frustrated. Not only that, you will probably get frustrated with your supervisor, especially if your supervisor has lower credentials than you. So you have 10 years of working in a bachelor's and your supervisor has a GED and only 4 years of experience. There might be some contempt that starts to form, not with everybody, but with a lot of people. So you have to consider that also. Another obvious one is that you're going to be making less money. The longer you have that lower paying job, that's going to compound. And if you're missing out on benefits like matching 401k, or maybe you don't have paid time off like you used to, that's going to add up and work against you in the long run. But there are some good reasons to do this. There are good reasons for taking lower paying jobs. One of them is to switch industries. Now in the government, we have people that are already established. Maybe they're working as computer IT specialists. They're working with computers, but they want to work in human resources. And that's crazy. I know, when I hear that all the time, I think that's crazy. But they want to work for human resources. So they're willing to go from like a GS-12 all the way back down to a GS-9. And that's like a $30,000, $35,000 a year difference. So when people are willing to shift industries, they're willing to take a pay cut. Same thing happens if you move to a different city. So let's say you live in a big city right now, whether it's Atlanta or Philadelphia. You live in a bigger city, and now you're going to move out into the rural area, right? Where there's just nothing but farmland and hills. So when you go out there, you might be willing to take a lower job because it's a smaller economy and there's not much going on. There's not many businesses there. So that could be another good reason. Or maybe you have to look after a loved one. One of your parents is getting old, someone's sick, so you want to be there next to them and help them out with the day-to-day task. Or you could just be looking for some extra money. You just want money, period. When I was in the military, we had a lot of guys that had higher ranks, but then, when military duties were not occupying their time, they would go and stock shelves. they would go and work on retail just for extra money. Sometimes times get hard, people have complications, whatever the case is. So there's nothing wrong with doing this. A lot of people find themselves in a situation where they either want or they need to do this. But I would suggest to go in it with eyes wide open. There's a lot of disadvantages. There's a lot of things that'll be working against you. And this seems pretty common knowledge, pretty intuitive stuff, but I hear people time and time again say, or they ask the question like, if I'm overqualified, why am I not getting the job? Or how is being overqualified a bad thing? And there's a lot of ways where it can be perceived as a bad thing, but you have it in your control to change it. Now, if you're in a situation where you need a job, let's say you desperately need a job, you need to start working now, you need to start earning, and you haven't been able to find anything yet. If that's the case, I want you to watch this video next. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.